Um, whoa, don't do that. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Minecraft with me, Lucy. And I was just warming myself up by the campfire here, and the golem decided to join me, huh? Um, Speaking of golem, this is the new place we set up here next to the villagers hall. In fact, I set this up here off camera. You guys didn't get to see it. I think it's looking pretty good. This is about as much as I could care about it, to be honest. There's probably a few more things you could add in here, but I think I've kind of achieved the kind of cozy hangout restaurant kind of vibe in here. And it looks pretty good at nighttime as well. uh, Hello. And here's a recap of what we did last episode. This little street here. I still haven't fully tidied it up. We've not finished this area, so we're just gonna continue on working here. But one thing I did do is I finished the gate on this site. No. Right, as I was saying, I finished the gate here on this side, which was really bugging me, and I'm sure a few of you guys as well. It's finally done. I did it. I don't know why I procrastinated on it for so long since finishing this side. All I had to do was copy the design over. And yeah, I think I nailed it. I think it's the same on both sides. And I think it looks pretty good. And now it's time to finish off the other stuff which is bothering me, and that is this whole area here. It looks really bad. It looks unfinished. Look at that. That's horrible. So let's talk about the plan for today's episode then. I have got all these villagers here in the hall. And a good portion of them are librarians, and I need them moved out of here so I can actually make non-librarian villagers. So right here, where I'm standing, sort of this entire hill, is going to be our big castle building here. This is sort of the symmetrical entrance in. Think big stairway up. I don't actually know if the castle is going to start right here, or maybe it'll be a bit further in. And it's going to go as far in this direction as it can, which probably means about here. I don't mind terraforming the hill to be a bit steeper on this side, so it's basically going to go as far as it can here, covering up a few of these caves as well. And I think it's only really going to stop where the hot spring is on this side. So it's not going to be fully symmetrical. It's ever going to be leaning more towards this area than out there, if that makes sense. But it's going to be our big castle, and it's not going to be one big hall, but rather a hall with a couple of rooms attached to it. And the rooms I have in mind is the hall is going to be the throne room. We're also going to need a map room, because I think that kind of just makes sense, right? A map room in the castle for the strategy meetings. We're going to need a blacksmith. I'm kind of wanting to put one on this side, so it's kind of facing out into the plaza while also being part of the castle, and next to the blacksmith, or maybe in the same kind of area, the armorer. And then on this side, we're going to need a big library to put all our boys in here. So I'm thinking we could have an entrance up this way, while also having the building connect to the castle as well. Now, I didn't plan anything out for any of these areas in the castle. The castle itself in creative at all, whereas with some of the other builds, like the gate, I kind of had a very prototype version of this in creative, so I don't actually know what I'm doing, and I've got a very vague blurry vision in my head. So this is going to be mostly coming up with things as we go. The color palette I want to use is also a bit undecided, but one thing I do know is I don't want to only use the same palette I have been so far, although it looks very cute just now with the sort of the creamy kind of beige blocks going into the sandstone quartz and the mangrove accents. I do love it, but because that is going to be the color of our wall, we're going to have quite a lot of it, I think. So the castle itself, to have it stand out, we're going to use slightly different blocks with a little bit more contrast, I think. This is not the most even of dirt pillars I've ever built. But this should give you a good sense of scale of how long this build is going to be. And also, by the way, this is just the library part, we're not building the rest of the castle at all just now. Also, it's going to be a lot taller than this, I think. And I feeling like maybe 2 floors as well. Like maybe floor 1 will be the librarian stationed here, and floor 2 could be the actual storage for the books. I'm not sure. But definitely quite a big and grand building I want it to be. So we're gonna use our favorite block in here. Oh, the spruce log here as our pillars. We're definitely gonna keep the spruce block as a consistent theme through the castle, but a lot of the personality I think of the build is not gonna come through from the color of the walls or the floor here, but rather the color of the roof. So all my roofs so far are very same here with the mangrove, and that one is just plain spruce. It's quite boring, and I think I want some very cool roofs. It's definitely something I need to work on more. So it's going to be a focus of at least this castle. We'll see how it goes, and if it goes well, we'll build everywhere else. I do want to kind of corner myself into only using stair blocks, stairs and slabs, because there's only so many of those in the game before it gets repetitive. So I want to build a really steep roof, actually a very steep one, which is using solid blocks, which hopefully will mean we can use a lot more different colors than just the woods or the stones. So because the plan is to use some bright colors for the roof, and I think I'm also going to gradient the colors on the roof if everything goes to plan, then I'm going to stick with a very small simple gradient to the wall. And I am sticking with the creams and the sand colors, just like we have here. But instead of it going all the way from the reddish dripstone jungle up to sandstone up to quartz, we're gonna just have the sandstone, birch planks, and kind of bone blocks gradient instead, and it is a lot calmer. Just look at it from this angle, it kind of blends in a lot better, especially the top parts. I'm not too sure about the bottom ones. I think they might need a little bit more blending. And same on this side here. So I'm just gonna follow this sort of pattern, starting off with the birch, moving up to sand, sandstone, and then bone blocks for throughout the entire build. And we'll kind of worry about windows and stuff like that later. Oh, the walls are up. Let's have a look from the outside. I started doing a bit of the roof as well. It's quite hard to get a view on this thing because of the amount of decorations I have in place, kind of the tree blocking the way and everything, but I hope we can get some sort of a gist for the way this looks. Oh, that's not even a clear view. There we go. This is best we're getting. I think it's looking pretty good, to be honest. I definitely need to get the roof to come out a bit more that way, kind of overhanging the building, and it is very much a rectangle just now. There's my horse next to the horse painting. It's very much a rectangle just now, but hopefully we can add decorations and windows and stuff. Now, I'm not 100% where I want the windows, because this is a library. Historically, I think libraries tended to have quite limited windows because sunlight can damage the books, especially old books. But of course, you need some sort of natural light in here for reading, so they tend to have quite small windows and mostly away from the bookshelves. So I'm kind of feeling like we're just gonna have one side of the wall maybe have windows, and the other side where the bookshelves are might be the one that goes into the castle, so we're not as bothered about the windows being that way. But yeah, it's kind of narrow feeling maybe, but it should be fine. I like libraries that feel a bit cozy. This is definitely going to be one of them. And the second floor, we're probably going to put exactly where that beam is. So right around here. So the first floor is going to have a bit taller ceiling than the second floor. And that should hopefully give us enough space to put our villagers and our books in there. Now here comes the hard part, actually doing the roof, not just making an outline of a shape of it and then decorating the outside of the building. I still haven't 100% decided on the color palette for the roof, so I'm gonna go figure that out just now. I don't know how, but a polar bear has wandered all the way up here. Hello, you are in my base. There was a slight keeper accident. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sad. So... It's color palette time. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. It's the color palette. I might run a bit overboard though, because that is 7 whole colors, and I had to do a bit of resource gathering for these materials. 7 whole colors. There is only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 layers on the roof. So I think the 7th color is going to be overhanging it. Hopefully this thing will look alright. I had a little mock-up, just a very small section of the roof done in creative, and that's how I came up with the color palette. I had a few options and this was my favorite one. The thing that bothers me slightly is the jump here from the red concrete powder to the orange wool is quite drastic, but I think when you have them out vertically and there's a bit of shadow and light on them, it should hopefully not be that bad. I mean, but this is a sort of color palette. When you look from afar, I think it actually blends alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and start building now. That roof is starting to get really dangerous because the sides are not lit up and the mobs keep spawning there, and the creeper, well, creepered here. I'll have that back, thank you. So I'm gonna crack on with it and try to get the roof done ASAP. I might have I done myself. Oh my god. Look at that. I don't know why I'm making that voice, but I am so proud of this color palette. Oh my god. This looks way better than I thought it would. It actually looks so good. Just wait until I do the other half of the roof and then add all the wood trimmings. Ah, I'm so excited. Bees being sneaky. I have come to a realization that there's a lot of issues with this build. Some which will be easy to fix and some which will not be. So let's have a look at it just now. It's quite hard to get a good view of it, but you can kind of see what I'm going for now. I did a lot of detailing up here, and I think it's given it too much of a townhousey look. At first I had those stairs set to wood as well, and it actually looked a bit nicer, I think, but again, it was kind of looking like a big house instead of a part of the castle, so I think I need to add a bit more tuff here. I think I'm going to replace a part of the sort of lower wall here with tuff, or add it on somehow. That's definitely in the plans. Another thing I've realized I do is that lighting this thing up is going to be an absolute nightmare. So what I can do, let's get up top here and get a better view. What I can do is I can light some of the roof up by kind of hiding lights in that corner. So first, the skirting here I put for the roof, I extended it by one more block, so the front looks nicer that way. And then I can put lamps in there and kind of trapdoor them, and it covers most of the roof. But that'll leave like a dark grey kind of stripe, which isn't too bad. No mobs will spawn. It does actually, I've checked it. No mobs will spawn if I do that. But but problem becomes the snow. The snow on the edges will melt, and then the snow will just remain at the top here in the middle, which made it look quite ugly. So I think our plan might have to be to put the lamps on the sides here, and then put string. Oh, I don't have any on me, but I have a bunch in my ender chest. String the middle section here since the snow can't form on it, which is a bit of a faff really to get that done, but we can do. It is one solution. Another solution we could use is we could put carpets on the coloured blocks, and that will stop mobs from spawning and from snow from forming. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. And it looks fine on the yellow, the orange, and the red-ish. It's kind of okay. You lose a bit of the gradient because the color of the carpets is the same across both kind of colors. But then it really doesn't work for the dark red parts. So I don't know if I want to go for that. We could do a mix of all 3. We could put carpet in the middle here to stop the snow from forming, but I think that'll just look a bit weird. And another option would be to do what we did with all the other roofs, which would be that one's maybe a bad example because I actually never got this done, so that's like just torches in the middle of it. But with, for example, this roof, we have leaves, and then we have candles kind of hidden in between the leaves, which from afar, I think they're kind of hard to see. I mean, can you even see that there's a candle there because it's white? I think it kind of just looks like a bit of snow behind the leaves. Once you get up close, though, it is fairly visible from this angle here. But I don't tend to look at my roofs too much, so I guess it's not big of a problem. But you use the candles to to light the place up, is what I'm trying to say. And then the snow is kind of, I don't think they melt the snow as much because they're less light level. Fewer light levels. Yep, they have they have fewer light levels. So I don't know what I'm gonna go for. I tried putting candles in, just that's not what I meant to do. I tried putting candles in kind of in random corners here to light up, and I was hoping that they would simply not be rendered when you look at them from quite far away, because that's what happens with entities. You can see it here, the first banner is visible, and the other ones are not rendered until you get a bit closer. You can see here, that one fade in and out. Yeah. So I thought candles are entities, right? Probably. So they might get unrendered, but they're actually visible from everywhere in the spawn, so I have to be quite far away. So I also don't like that solution. I don't know. Do I want to cover this roof in leaves like I've done with all the other leaves? All the other roofs? Here is the dark shadow I was talking about in the middle. I don't really have a way to get rid of it, so we're gonna leave it. And here is my hidden torches. I think that the trapdoors kind of hide it pretty well, and they don't really bother me from afar. And let's double check this actually. So this goes down to 1 light level. So where it says, oh, I can't mouse over it, but where it says quiet light, and it's the block level we're looking at, that says what? That's 0. Okay, wait. I feel like 0 for this floating block here, like this block of air right here. Oh, it's snowing. This block of air right here, I think that's 0, but I don't think the actual block where the mob's spawning spawn is 0, right? Let's put this, actually this will show you quite well where the snow will land or not. I think you get about 3 blocks here where it does land, and it looks kind of weird. Looks kind of weird. So we're gonna place a bit of string on all of these corners here, rather than the corners. So we leave the corners and we're gonna place it in the middle, and that way it's fairly invisible from afar. Like, look, you can't see the string, and we don't have this awkward snow only in the middle situation. For comparison, oops. For comparison, this is the side with the string. It's a bit visible from up high, but we don't have a light right yet, so that doesn't matter to me. And here is the side without the string. If you ignore the candles I left there by accident, you can see how the string is kind of clumping, the snow is kind of clumping around the middle here. And then where the lanterns are, which is the trap doors, well, the torches rather, there's a few there. There's kind of a few blocks left out. Uh, so it's like a no-winning situation, because if I don't have the lights, I get creepers spawning on top, and if I do have the lights, it looks very uneven. I wouldn't mind snow covering the entire thing. I did actually consider, I looked it up, and if you have 2 layers of snow carpet instead of just one, like so, like that. This is the normal snow. Okay, mobs can't actually spawn on this because it's too tall. But I didn't like the way that looked when you had to put that on every single block. There was a bit too much white going on, and it ruined the gradient. So let's go downstairs and see if the string is bothering me from down below. Let's get some distance. I can't see anything. Oh, there's one up there I missed. It's kind of floating in the air, so it's a bit obvious. Anything else? No, 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 no. Okay, let's go up here and see if I can see anything. And even from this angle, I can't see any string, so it's literally just from above. I guess the last thing to do is check the the tower up here and see how it looks from that side. Yeah, I think you can't see it at all. If you zoom in, you can, but from a normal Minecraft kind of look, it looks great. Even zooming in slightly, you can't see it. It's only when you start really getting in there that you can see the strings, so that's great. I also added the kind of stone, the tuff, that's what it's called. The tuff down here at the bottom, and I think it helps, but it also loses a bit of that gradient vibe I was going for, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it, because I don't think it's not making that much difference in making this look more like a part of a castle. Yeah, not sure about that. I think I'm going to put it back, and instead of having it like so, what I might do, get rid of the stuff, and grab a bit of... Is that all I've got? Oh, there it is. This is the darkness block we were using, so let's not bother with textures just now and just put that in. Put this in here. Let's see. How do I feel about this with the fences? I like this little look of almost shading. That's pretty good, but we do need to bring the tuff in somewhere. So I could just add tuff as like little support pillars. I don't know if that makes any sense. That covers too much of it. How about tough walls? That might not be too bad. What about one block tall? Go a bit further away. Might just do that. It gives it a bit more dimension as well. It's not all solid. I could even bring it out 2 more. No, that just looks silly. I have been working and building for several hours now, what feels like non-stop. It's actually quite difficult to navigate like this. And it's time to wrap up. I think I got as much as I can get done for this episode. So let's look at the progress. Oh, you can see there behind me. Um, okay. Overall, I love it. There's still some areas I think could use a bit of work. But overall, like I added a little flag. Now I know it's flying in the wrong direction of that one. That one's going to get fixed. I had a little flag and I tried to use the colors we used in the banners. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it like this. I think it looks fine from this angle. Actually doesn't look that good from the tower, but like dead on like this. Very cute. And you can see, oh, I forgot to path that. Well, you can see I've started making a path here as well, and a little bit of the interior, not much, I just put in the floor. Now the bits that I'm not 100% certain about are the lanterns hanging off the side. On one hand, I think they're really cute, and on the other hand, there might be too many of them. So from the side, I think this looks completely fine. It kind of looks almost a bit too plain, so I think the lanterns help. I don't know if I should be adding more decorations around the windows, so I kind of decided to leave the side blank. This is the side I'll be heading into the castle. I actually kind of want to add in like a corridor, hallway kind of thing that connects around here towards the back of the building into the castle. So we're going to probably tear down this section off the wall. Okay, I didn't realize how hurt I was to have my armor on. Whoopsie. Need that feather falling, turns out. Let's take a quick peek inside. This is absolutely not final. We're gonna work on this next episode, I think. I just don't have any more time to work on the interior. I don't want to rush it. So we got kind of two different feels in here, two different vibes rather. The upstairs is quite nice and airy. You got all the windows, and downstairs I've purposely left it a bit gloomy. I want it to be gloomy. I might add a window kind of there or there. I don't know. It will like one or two windows at most in this floor. And I got the tall ceilings, and this is going to be filled with bookshelves. I want it to feel very, very gothic, dark academia kind of vibes, if you guys know what I mean. That's why I went for this wooden checkered floor, and I think it will help. Now, the stairs need a lot of work as well. I don't even know if I'm going to keep them in this direction, but I think long grand staircase might be what I need to do here. I was kind of envisioning maybe two of these, one on this side, one on the other side, and it kind of converges in the middle. Yeah, might do that. I don't know how much space I need on the inside for the bookshelves. How many of the bookshelves are going to be decorative? And how many of them are going to be ones we actually use, like the chiseled ones or chests, I suppose? Chests are a bit more convenient, but I do like the idea of using chiseled bookshelves. What else? What else? I added a little path down here as well. It doesn't lead anywhere yet, but eventually I'm sure we'll have buildings behind here. Thought it's a nice little star. I love the way this feels. Let me just... Oh, double too strong. Oh, wrong buttons. Been working for way too long. This is partly why I'm stopping here. This area is going to need a bit more revision. I think it needs a bit more light as well. But I think it's looking cute. And I'm not even close to being finished on the side. Like that lantern, the pumpkin lantern is completely visible. I did run into an issue where the torches, for some reason, when I tried it before, I didn't use torches, I used lanterns, and I think that's why I didn't have the issue. But when you use torches, turns out there are one light level less than a lot of the others light blocks in the game. So the jack-o'-lanterns and the lanterns and copper bulbs and glowstone and redstone lamps, all of that stuff is light level 15. Turns out torches are only 14. So I had a little stripe right in the middle where the very middle blocks were reaching light level 0, and I had a few mobs spawning out. Thankfully they were skeletons or strays. So no explosions. And yeah, it's actually snowed a few times since then, but the roof completely clear of snow, which is great. I kind of wanted to have a slight magic vibe. So I like it. I think it'll help because a lot of the castle that it's going to be connecting to is here in the plains biome. So half of the castle being covered in snow and the other half not being covered is probably gonna look a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know how to do the sides of these yet. I just put trapdoors around the side to make it look like it's like a supporting beam or something. But yeah, let's have another look. See, I actually really like this angle, but the stupid little star I put in, which I'm starting to dislike more and more every day, guys. Specifically the fountain, something's quite off about it, so I might tear down the fountain, leave the star, and fill out the sun at the bottom. I might do that. Don't be surprised if one episode I don't mention it, it's just gone. Yeah, if you ignore the stupid little star, this side looks really good, I think. So yeah, next episode, I need to actually do the interior, which is going to be very detailed, I think. Probably the theme of this entire build is very detailed. Do you see how many fences I've used? I went through so many fences. This is at least 4 stacks of fences, or 5 maybe. And we're going to do like beams and pillars and bookshelves. Oh, and I'm gonna have to bring a lot of cows. Oh, just a lot of work. But anyways, let's wrap up here for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas on how to improve on this thing, please do let me know. It's my first time building something in this specific style. I tried to really add on a lot more details than I normally do. I think maybe the gate is the closest thing to it, and even then that's a lot more plain. This has got a lot going for it, but I don't think it clashes. I'm so bad at wrapping up videos. Let's stop here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.